There's been a really interesting and rather unexpected update in the Manchester airport incident, but nothing to do with the two individuals involved, but rather whoever it was that leaked, supposedly, the CCTV footage. Now, I have David Atherton to thank for the tip-off of this, so go ahead and follow me on X if you want the on-the-pulse updates on these things. And it says here, the IOPC has demanded that the Manchester Evening News desk reveal their source of who leaked the CCTV footage from the airport incident. Now, even before I go any further and read any more, of course they can refuse, because it is the very cornerstone of a free press and journalism that you don't have to reveal your sources. More about that in a minute, because there is one thing that might catch you out, so keep watching. But it says here, on August 23rd and September 3rd, the Manchester Evening News received letters from the IOPC seeking to access the CCTV footage and ask questions designed to identify the source. We denied these requests because it's journalistic material, and the provision of material like CCTV footage to the press is a cornerstone of democracy. Now, just to put that in very straightforward terms, if you want to send footage to the news because you think it's of public interest, you're a member of the public, you film something, or even you work in the CCTV room and you want to tip off or you want to whistleblow or whatever and leak this to the press because you think the public need to see this, you can do that, and the press should absolutely 100% keep your anonymity, save for very, very narrow circumstances. One of which might be immediate threat to life, but we'll come back to that in a minute. Now, it says in another letter dated 4th of September, the IPC said, we're conducting a criminal investigation into the provision of the CCTV footage to Manchester Evening News, specifically from the airport incident relating to the incident on the 23rd of July. The MEN says the IOPC asked us to confirm if we hold the original video, whether we'd be prepared to supply it for inspection, whether we consider the material sensitive. The investigator also asked us to list all additional material that we hold in relation to the case. They say that we've declined to enter into any discussions about the source and said the protection of sources of information is key journalistic principle. And goes on to say that Greater Manchester Police said it submitted a file of evidence to the Crown Prosecution Service, etc. And so that really is the point. If you've supplied something to the press, it is journalistic material and you are protected as a source of the press from identification. Now, under UK law, this is a fundamental principle and even protected under Section 10 of the Contempt of Court Act, whereby it is not contempt of court for a journalist to refuse to disclose the identity of sources. This means that no court can compel a person to disclose the source of information unless, of course, as I briefly outlined earlier, it is absolutely necessary in the interest of justice, national security, or the prevention or disorder or crime. And even in cases like that, they will be very fiercely argued because the free press is fiercely argued. And even where a court makes such an order for disclosure, it may well be that only special counsel will have sight of who the source was or the material itself or anything like that, and only limiting the parties absolutely necessary to see this information and perhaps go back to the judge with it and to ensure that it all remains confidential so that that anonymity is protected, because this is a fundamental provision in law where journalistic sources are protected. But I found that a fascinating update, that this is the line of inquiry, that it says here they are holding a criminal investigation into where the CCTV footage came from. It says here, we are conducting a criminal investigation into the provision of CCTV footage to Manchester Evening News. So alongside everything else they are doing, which I can't really speak about because they are live proceedings, because people have been arrested and they've said that they are collating information, etc. So I can't say too much about the incident itself. All I can say that I find it interesting that they are approaching news companies to say that they are holding a criminal investigation into the supply of that CCTV footage in the first place. I find that really interesting. I would say leave me your thoughts and comments below, but bear in mind that you shouldn't say or post anything that is likely to jeopardize any ongoing proceedings in light of what we're talking about with the Contempt of Court Act. But I thought I would tell you about that. I found that interesting myself. So I'll be keeping tabs on it, and within the bounds that I'm allowed to do, I will keep you updated about this. But obviously, with live and ongoing cases, there's only so much we can say. It has to be factual and accurate reporting, sans any opinion that might scupper any ongoing proceedings. But I hope you found that interesting. Please do subscribe, and I'll see you next time.